Yes, illegal aliens are big rules followers.
The left has reached a conclusion on the question, and it's that America needs more immigration, much more immigration without limit. And we shouldn't worry about whether the people coming here have skills that we need, whether they're educated, whether they can speak English even, or even whether they're violent criminals.
Thank you, Governor Jerry Brown, for reminding all Americans and legal immigrants that law-breaking, line-cutting, and a general disregard for our nation's safety and security is celebrated.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're not sending you. They're sending people that have lots of problems. And they're bringing those problems with us.
These are just some examples of the type of propaganda that is being spread by mainstream news in regards to our broken immigration system. To add to this narrative, we hear things like, well, why don't they just stay in their own country and make things better there? We also hear, well, we are a nation of laws and they broke the law. I have even heard people say, these people don't care about being safe. They just want handouts paid by American citizens. Hi, I'm Elena V, and in today's video, I'm going to make a case as to why I believe these comments are idiotic and lack any intellectual depth to even be considered valid points in our nation's discussion of immigration law and policy. Let's start with the facts. According to an article published by the Pew Research Center on May 3rd, 2017, the U.S. is home to more immigrants than any other country in the world. Today, that equates to around 40 million people who were not born in the United States. Of those who immigrated here, 76% of those people are here legally. The largest population that is coming into the United States are those who were born in Mexico. But from 2007 to 2015, the number of people coming from Mexico illegally had dropped from 1 million people. During this decline, we saw a dramatic increase of immigrants coming from Central America, Asia, and Sub-Saharan Africa. In 2015, the country that had the most people migrating to the United States were from India, second being Mexico, and third place going to China. In regards to their ability to speak English, as for the percentage of those immigrants who are 5 years old and older, 51% already know or would be considered proficient in the English language. 45% of immigrants living in the U.S. 5 years or more are English proficient, and those who have lived in the U.S. 20 years or longer, half of them are even more proficient in English. So this assumption that these immigrants don't know English or refuse to learn the language is false. Why don't they just stay in their country and make it better? Because they literally can't. Anybody who wants to stand up for change gets killed in the streets. Their government is intertwined with cartels, and those cartels hold cities for ransom. Investigative journalists have a bounty placed on them or are driven into hiding. Local authorities are intertwined with organized crime, so there is no such thing as justice. 49% of Mexicans live in extreme poverty and can barely feed themselves, which is almost half of the country. But you want them to save money and do it the legal way? The average Mexican income per day is around 30 pesos, which translates to $1.49. There isn't anything these people want more than to stay in their native country, but crime, lack of resources, corrupt government, and basic necessities of survival and better outlook for their children are not fostered there. So of course they take the dangerous trek with their young children in tow to hopefully have an opportunity for a brighter future. It's the same type of opportunities we are granted here and enjoy. The same type of privileges others hold tight to because their ancestors did the same thing. Then they have the audacity to stub their nose at those who want that for their family. And there's this argument of legality. That argument alone is a cop-out that makes the assumption that no one should question it because the law is always correct and fair. If we know anything from our history, one thing is for sure. Laws are not always fair, and the United States has been known to break laws all the time, even laws other nations have set in place. I wouldn't worry about immigrants undermining the laws of the U.S. because our government undermines its own laws so long as it's beneficial for them to do so. As far as them wanting handouts in the form of welfare, this also is propaganda because the data from the Department of Agriculture shows that the largest recipients of food stamps are white Americans at a whopping 40.2%. I would just like to add that undocumented individuals do not get welfare benefits unless they have a child who is a citizen. If you're trying to paint these people as lazy, self-interested, and entitled, you are what is wrong when it comes to immigration and not them. These are individuals that bring work ethic that surpasses the work ethic of any American-raised adult today. They're in search of a better life, and the progression and the success they find here ultimately benefits us as a whole and our well-being as a country. So please, I ask you to stop feeding into these lies and look at the facts. If you liked anything that you heard me say today, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to follow me on Twitter if you want links of everything that I described here today, along with my Twitter account. please look into the description box below. Thank you so much for watching. Again, my name's Elena V. Bye.